When did you know you're going into the game?
Right at halftime, so right before you see me, right when you see me.
The Browns took another tough loss to the Ravens, even though Shedeur Sanders stepped in after halftime and lit a spark the whole stadium felt. And the wild part, he still didn't get first-team reps all week. How is that even real? How do you bench the only quarterback who actually moves the chains? How do you keep handing starting reps to someone who stalls every drive, but hold back the dude who actually gave your team a chance? That sends a loud message through the locker room, and it ain't a good one when the better performer gets treated like a backup. Everybody sees it and everybody talks. Shedeur was the only one out there fighting, so why wasn't he the one starting? He found out he was going into the game right at halftime, literally minutes before stepping on the field. No prep, no rhythm, no first-team reps, nothing. And still, he walked in cold and tried to steady an offense that was already falling apart. After the game, he kept it real. He said he didn't think he played that great. He said the team had a lot to look at. That's not weakness, that's straight leadership. Shedeur took responsibility that wasn't even his, while everybody else stayed quiet behind walls of excuses. He walked into a disaster he didn't create and still tried to clean it up. That's heart. That's accountability. That's a real teammate stepping up when the situation was already messed up. And let's be clear, the loss is not on Shedeur, and anyone who actually watched the game knows that. He didn't get first-team reps the entire week. Kevin Stefanski didn't prepare him at all. Stefanski tossed him into a live NFL game freezing cold and expected him to magically save an offense with no plan, no protection, and zero confidence.
Bro, this loss is not on Shedeur. I don't care what the media gonna say tomorrow. This ain't on Shedeur. Kevin Stefanski did not have my dog prepared. He ain't had no first team.
How is any quarterback supposed to shine when the coach doesn't even set him up to succeed? How can anyone expect a young quarterback to take control when he only steps on the field after the whole situation is already wrecked? That's not a quarterback issue, that's straight coaching failure. Acting like it's anything else would be nothing but a lie. So the real questions start popping up fast. Why is Stefanski still refusing to give Shedeur the reps he actually needs? Why is the one quarterback who shows honesty, fire, and real accountability treated like he's invisible to the staff? What kind of coach watches the offense fall apart every single week and still won't prepare the one guy who actually gives the team a real chance? How long can people keep pointing fingers at the player when the whole system is cracked from the top down? And if Stefanski can't even create a fair, functional plan for his own quarterback, then why is he still the one making decisions? Why is he still sitting in that seat? Why isn't he getting fired already?
I think you played.
I don't think I played good. I don't think I played good at all. I think it's a lot of things, we need to...
Shedeur's answer after the game was nothing but respect and maturity. He didn't blame anyone. He didn't complain about missing reps. He didn't throw shots at coaches, nothing. He simply said the only thing he can ask for is opportunity, and that he can't control who gets first-team reps or how the game plan is built. That's a young quarterback showing discipline and loyalty to his team, even when the situation around him is completely unfair. And even then, he still put the loss on his own shoulders, saying he didn't meet his own expectations. That is leadership. That is accountability. That is someone trying to protect the locker room while carrying weight he shouldn't even be carrying in the first place. But let's keep it real. The lack of first-team reps mattered. A lot. No quarterback in this league looks sharp when the entire game plan isn't even built for him. No quarterback plays clean football when they find out they're entering the game at halftime with no rhythm, no timing, and no chemistry with the starters.
You play next week if Dillon doesn't clear protocol. Do you feel like if the game plan is designed for you and you get those first team reps, those starting reps in practice, that this is just going to be a whole different ball game for you when you get out there?
No, the most I can ask for is opportunity. See, that's an uncontrollable thing that I'm not able to control, and that's not, nothing I should speak on, just being the quarterback of this team, this franchise. They gave me an opportunity. I ain't do up to my expectation and enough to get us a win, so I just got to take that one to.
That is coaching failure, not quarterback failure. Stefanski is the one who builds the plan. Stefanski is the one who controls the reps, period. He's the one who decided to hand Gabriel every single first-team rep while the offense kept sinking like a stone. And what did Gabriel do with all those advantages? Nothing. He couldn't move the ball, couldn't finish drives, couldn't keep the offense alive at all. Yet he kept getting every opportunity while Shedeur had to pull off miracles with scraps and leftover reps from practice. So yeah, Shedeur handled everything like a pro. He stayed focused, kept his head down, and protected the team. But somebody has to speak up and say what he can't say in public. Why did Stefanski give full control to a quarterback who clearly wasn't producing? Why did the staff keep forcing Gabriel into the starting role when everybody in that building could see the offense had zero life with him? And how does a coach justify putting Shedeur into the game freezing cold, then expecting him to magically clean up a broken game plan? This team doesn't need spin, it needs honesty. And the honest truth hits hard. The coaching staff failed Shedeur before the game even kicked off. Shedeur even said it was the first time he'd been hit since his last game at Colorado, and that alone exposes everything. He wasn't being prepared the way any real quarterback or potential starter should be prepared. He talked about finally feeling real football again, finally getting to move between those lines, finally getting to test himself, and knowing deep down, without a single doubt, that he's built for this moment. That confidence is real. That awareness Shedeur showed is real, and it exposes one tough truth. If he feels fulfilled just from finally getting real reps and real hits, what does that say about how Stefanski has handled him all season? How can a coach expect a young quarterback to grow when he never lets him operate at full speed? How is someone supposed to be ready when the staff barely gives him real game situations until the team is already sinking?
Just being able to get out there, you know. It's the first time I got hit, like, since just my last game at Colorado. So just having that feeling back, you know, is good. And, you know, I feel fulfilled overall when it comes to being out there practicing, going in between the lines, seeing actually what it's like. And I know I'm made for it, you know. I don't think it was a doubt in my mind.
And the biggest question of all, if Shedeur knows he's built for this and everyone watching sees the spark he brings, why is Stefanski the only one acting like he can't handle the job? Shedeur explained that those extra reps helped him grasp basic concepts, but once the real bodies, real speed, and real roots start flying on the field, everything changes instantly. He talked about watching real hips, expecting certain breaks, and how one tiny detail can flip a play from a clean completion to a risky turnover. And he's absolutely right. Playing quarterback is incredibly difficult when you don't truly know your receiver's timing, speed, and habits, things you only learn from real first-team reps, not random scout team snaps, and not leftover practice scraps. He needs time with the starters, time with the real route runners, time with the guys he's actually throwing to on game day. That's how a quarterback grows. That's how chemistry is built. And the fact that he's learning all of this mid-game, under pressure in live NFL action, shows exactly how poorly he's been prepared by the staff. And that leads to one simple, unavoidable question. Why hasn't Stefanski given him those reps from the start? How can a coach expect a young quarterback to read receivers perfectly when he never gets to work with them at full speed? How do you throw a guy straight into the fire and then judge him for not instantly having chemistry with players he barely gets to practice with? He barely even practices with the starters, yet Shedeur is out here breaking down plays like a true pro, understanding details most young quarterbacks don't even mention yet. And still, he's treated like a backup who doesn't deserve real preparation. The problem isn't his talent, it's the opportunities he keeps getting denied every single week. The truth is simple, Shedeur is doing everything right, and the coaching staff keeps giving him everything late. Shedeur made it clear that losing is something he can't stand, but even then, he took the blame on himself, saying he had to sit with it, decompress, and accept that it happened on his watch. That's not someone making excuses, that's someone humble enough to carry weight that isn't even his. He kept his confidence strong, kept believing he could take this offense to another level if he just gets a real chance. And he said it with calm, steady faith.
Opportunities to get extra reps and everything. How much did you feel like those extra reps have at least helped prepare you for when you were out there finally, if at all?
Yeah, it helped me understand the concepts live, you know. But it's different when it's different body types going out there, different way how people get out of routes. Like what I seen on the pick initially was I see his hips turn. So I'm like, okay, we're gonna be able to get out there. But at the same time, playing quarterback is extremely hard. So it's like I like knowing every detail about my.
Not attitude, not ego. That is rare. That is leadership. He's not pointing fingers. He's not throwing shade at coaches. He's not attacking teammates. He's just saying, give me a real chance and I will take this team somewhere better. And honestly, how many quarterbacks talk with this much maturity after being thrown into pure chaos with no preparation at all? Let's be real. If Shedeur is this calm, this humble, this ready, then why is Stefanski still refusing to prepare him like a real starter? Why is he treating the most composed quarterback on the roster like he's not worthy of first-team reps? How many more games have to slip away before the coaching staff finally gives the quarterback with the strongest mindset and sharpest confidence a fair shot? The crazy part is everyone in that locker room can feel the shift because players know when a quarterback is built for the moment. They see who stays calm, who studies the details, who actually lifts the offense instead of dragging it down. And right now, Shedeur is the only one giving them that steady energy, while the staff keeps acting like they can't see what's right in front of their eyes. It's wild to watch a team begging for a spark while the coach keeps shutting off the lights. Guys on the field know when the offense moves different. They know when the huddle has confidence. They know when the quarterback walks in with that, "we got this" vibe. Shedeur brought that the second he stepped on the grass, even with no preparation. And players respect that instantly. But respect alone can't fix a bad system. When a coach refuses to build around the quarterback who actually brings life, the locker room starts to question everything. And make no mistake, they are questioning it. They see who gets protected and who gets ignored. They see who's grinding for reps and who's handed everything. They see the imbalance loud and clear, and it creates tension you can feel in every meeting, in every sideline moment. A team can't follow a plan that doesn't make sense, and right now Stefanski's plan looks like it's holding back the one guy who could turn this season around. Players aren't blind, and fans definitely aren't blind. Everyone can see Shedeur earning respect the real way, through work, patience, and stepping into chaos without folding. The only one who keeps pretending not to see it is the coach, and that's the biggest red flag of all. If your quarterback is proving he's ready and your team feels that energy, why keep chaining him to the sideline like he's not the future? At some point, the front office has to step in because this pattern is way too obvious to ignore anymore. You can't keep watching the same mistakes every week while the one quarterback who brings real life to the offense keeps standing on the sidelines like he's some extra in his own story. That's not strategy, that's stubbornness, and the whole league sees it. Other teams are laughing because they know the Browns are holding back the one player who could actually flip the script. And here's the part nobody in Cleveland wants to admit out loud. If another coach had Shedeur, he'd already be getting groomed as the future. He'd be building timing with the starters, getting full-speed reps, getting real development instead of being tossed into chaos with no warning. Any coach with basic sense would be preparing him, not hiding him behind a wall of bad decisions. But Stefanski keeps acting like giving Shedeur reps is some kind of risky experiment instead of the obvious answer. Even analysts are starting to question the whole situation. You hear comments like, "Why isn't the better quarterback getting prepared?" And "What exactly are the Browns trying to accomplish here?" It's getting embarrassing because the questions aren't coming from fans anymore. They're coming from professionals who study the game for a living. When outsiders can see the problem clearer than the coach running the team, that's when you know something is seriously wrong. And the worst part? Every game that passes with Shedeur underused is wasted time, wasted snaps, wasted development, wasted momentum. The league moves fast, and quarterbacks grow by playing, not by watching someone else struggle through drives that never go anywhere. If the Browns don't wake up soon, they're going to look back at this season and realize they stalled the growth of the one guy who could have taken them somewhere real. And this is where everything starts feeling bigger than just one game or one bad decision, because now it's turning into a pattern the whole fan base can't ignore anymore. Every week, the frustration grows. Every week, the questions get louder. And every week, Shedeur proves he's ready, while the coaching staff keeps pretending they don't see it. It's turning into a situation that doesn't just affect the offense, it affects the whole identity of the team. Players start wondering who the staff actually believes in. Fans start wondering what the plan even is. And Shedeur, he's stuck proving himself over and over again without ever being given a fair setup. That's not how teams grow. That's how teams fall apart. When the locker room senses that the wrong guy is being protected and the right guy is being held back, that energy spreads fast, and suddenly everyone feels the tension on every snap. People aren't asking small questions anymore. They're asking things like, is this coach even helping the team? And how long can this go on before someone steps in? You can feel the shift in the stadium, online, everywhere, because fans know when they're being sold something that doesn't match what they're watching on the field. And what they're watching right now is a quarterback who deserves a real chance being treated like he's just filling space. And if the Browns keep moving like this, they're risking something way bigger than one game.
Isn't something I'm comfortable with at all. So everything, I just gotta take this one, you know? I gotta take this one, I gotta decompress, I gotta understand, like, you know, this really happened, you know, on my watch. So I don't like the feeling, and I know offensively, if I'm able to get out there and have an opportunity, I know that I'll be able to take everything to a different level. Like I said, I'm still have the same confidence. I'm still me. I'll never go anywhere, you know? Just going out there seeing daylight, that's all.
They're risking losing the trust of their own fan base. You can't keep holding back the one player who brings life, confidence, and leadership and expect people to stay quiet. Shedeur has already shown he's ready for more. The only thing left is whether the staff finally lets him prove it. At this point, the pressure isn't just coming from fans or analysts anymore, it's creeping right up the walls of the organization because everybody can feel that something isn't adding up. You can't keep watching the offense stall out week after week while the only quarterback who brings real energy keeps getting treated like an optional backup. It's impossible to justify, and every game makes it look even more questionable. Front office people aren't blind. They see the same tape the fans see. They see Shedeur stepping in cold and still giving the team a pulse. They see him owning mistakes that weren't even his, staying calm in chaos, lifting teammates when the game was already off the rails. That kind of mindset is rare, and organizations usually pour everything into a quarterback with that attitude. But in Cleveland, it's like that mindset is being ignored instead of celebrated. Even the veterans on the team feel the difference. They know when a quarterback has that "we can still win this" energy, and they know when they're being sent out there with no real plan. When the huddle feels more confident with the backup than the starter, that's not on the players, that's on the coaching staff. You can't build chemistry, trust, or momentum when the leadership above you keeps forcing a lineup that clearly isn't working. And that's why more people are starting to wonder if the problem isn't the roster. It's the direction. A team stays strong when the decisions make sense, when the best players get the best chances, and when the staff adjusts instead of doubling down. But right now, it feels like the Browns are stuck in a loop that everyone sees except the one man making the calls. If Shedeur is showing the heart, the IQ, the calm, and the upside, then why does it feel like he's the only one not being set up to succeed? That's the question hanging over this whole season. And until someone steps in to fix it, the Browns will keep paying the price for decisions that never should have been made in the first place. And here's the real brutal question that nobody in the building wants to say out loud. How long are the Browns going to keep protecting coaching decisions that lead straight to losses instead of trusting the quarterback who actually believes he can change everything? Shedeur didn't hide from anything tonight. Not from the pressure, not from the truth, and definitely not from the responsibility he never should have been carrying alone. He stepped in cold, stayed honest, stayed locked in, and still showed the belief that he can lead this team if he finally gets a real chance. And after another tough loss, it's clear the problem isn't his talent, it's the way he's being handled. Anyone watching can see that. If you rock with straight, simple breakdowns that actually tell the truth, make sure you hit subscribe, drop a like, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Do you think Shedeur should finally get full first-team reps next week? See you on the next one.